Okay, so I'm just gonna take it out of the box and quickly show you how to put it together. Okay, you should have 4 legs, a tensioner, your not a knitting needle, but a crochet hook, and then a little sewing needle, and then 6 weights, and then the machine and the booklet. Okay, so first just take your 4 legs and they snap right on. So just snap those on. So there's your button that determines whether you want to do a round item or a flat item. So just go ahead and get your tensioner and it should just snap right on. So I'll just go ahead and check it, just spin it and make sure that it's spinning. Okay, so this is the thread that you use to make your yarn sparkly, and I got it at Joann's. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick the yarn that you want, and then you're going to pick the thread that's going to make it sparkly, whatever color you want. There's several different colors of it. There's like silver, iridescent. So I put the yarn in something that will keep it from falling off the table, and then I put the thread inside that whatever that is, that Christmas tin, and so that way it doesn't roll all over the place. Okay, so at the beginning of your yarn and your thread, you're going to want to tie a little knot so that they stay together. Okay, once you got your yarn and your thread tied together, go ahead and find your black hook on your machine, and we're going to get started. Make sure your yarn and your thread are together, and on the right side you're going to want to put the thread and the yarn and hold it, and then you're going to go every other hook, and so you want to make sure that you start the thread going under the black one first, and then behind the next one, and then back and forth and back and forth. But here I'm showing you, see, I messed up. It didn't end at going under the black one. So I had to undo it all and start over. So yeah, if you mess up anywhere, you're just gonna have to take it off and redo it and start over, because with the yarn and the thread together, it's really hard to see the thread, and you just want to do that. Start over. It makes it much easier. So start over and get it going. You always want to make sure that it ends going under the black post too, the black hook or whatever you want to call it. Okay, once you start going on your first row, if you see where my thumb's at, you're going to notice that it's only looping around those two posts every other. That happens for the first row. But once you start the second row, it will start going every one of them. And you always want to make sure that that thread is always looped around those two posts when it comes to the right side. Here's a close-up picture of the two little black posts and the yarn wrapped around it, like I was talking about. Okay, so once you get going and you see these white posts here, and you see where I've circled there, you always want to make sure the yarn is under that post. So as you're going, like I said, make sure that the yarn is being hooked under the hook and it's being pushed down, and that the yarn comes up, that yarn stays around, looped around those two black posts, and then the yarn goes down under that white post. Just take it slow doing this with the thread, so you make sure the thread doesn't get tangled or anything, and make sure everything is running smooth. So if you take it slow and make sure everything's running smoothly, then the hat will, whatever you're making, will turn out great. Can't really see the thread, but it's rolling up with the yarn, and it's kind of tucked in behind the yarn as it's going through the feeder. But if you can see here, sorry, it's kind of you can see that it is in there, and it shows up on the other side really well if you lift that piece up. And you can see here the thread, if you look real close, you can kind of see the sparkling of it. Trying to get a close-up for you so you can see how it's going through the feeder and working out pretty good. So you can see the sparkling thread really well on this side. The camera doesn't pick up all of it, but it sparkles really well on that side. Looks really good. When you begin to cast off, make sure the tail is the length of the whole round. Okay, so now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and pull the yarn and the thread out of the feeder. And my last one, it'll go under the black one. And then I will start to sew it through the loops. So before I ended this or started sewing the loops, I went ahead and cut off the sparkly thread because you don't need it to end it, and it'll just stay wherever you cut it off. Here I decided to record a close-up of the cast off so you can get a better idea of how to do it. Okay, once you're done, you go ahead and figure out what side you want to use, and then go ahead and fold it in, and then close off your top. All you have to do is fold it in half, fold one piece inside the other, and then close both ends like a drawstring, and then tie it shut. Here it is, all done. The picture is just not doing it justice of how sparkly it actually is. The whole thing sparkles and then glistens when you move it in the light.